Hi, welcome to the Sifu Mimi Chan Show. Thanks for joining the conversation. Greg, Rucka, and I are back in what has become the Mimi and Greg Show since 2019. This episode is jam-packed with comics talk. We go into Lazarus, Batwoman, Cheetah, and Cheshire rob the Justice League, The Forged, plus some Superman insight. We have a lot to say about social media, but today, Greg surprisingly has one good thing to say about it. Tune in to find out what it is. In typical potpourri fashion, we also discuss grief, resilience, and the problem with insider culture. If you aren't already subscribed to his newsletter, Front Towards Enemy, do yourself a favor and sign up. It's free, it's brilliant, and it's the perfect way to stay up to date on all things Rucka. For those that don't already know, Greg Rucka is a New York Times bestselling author of hundreds of comics and nearly 24 novels. He is also the writer for his critically acclaimed and award-winning film, The Old Guard, starring Charlize Theron. I've been enjoying these conversations and hope you have too. If you have, please rate my podcast on your platform of choice and share it with others. If you would like to support with a donation to help keep this podcast going and support the work I do, you can become a patron of the show by visiting my website or patreon.com/SifuMimiChan. For comments or suggestions, reach out on social media at SifuMimiChan. Now, on with the show. Hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing. It's good to see you, though, as always.
Good to see you.
Been a minute.
How you been?
Trekking along, just here and there.
Yeah. Enduring.
Yes. That is something we do at Kung Fu. We endure, we endurance, we persevere.
Our choices are not many in that regard.
True. Very, very true.
Bondi got fired.
Oh, okay. I can't keep up with any of that.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see who comes next in the clown car. Yes.
Wow.
So, how's Oscar? How's
He's
your sister?
good.
How are your parents?
They're all hanging in there as well. I was going to ask the same. I was like, how's the crew over there in the West Coast, the Pacific Northwest?
In the main, doing okay. Doing okay.
Well, because you're home.
Yeah, at least for another couple weeks.
Okay.
I'm expecting a call today that maybe will have a little more information about what I can expect for the immediate future. But it's still all up in the air, so God knows,
I know. Well, you've got so many secrets.
Yeah,
have we've officially started or no? I never know.
Yeah, sure. We've started.
Hello. We've started.
Hello. Hi, Mimi. How you been?
Oh,
blah,
really
blah.
good. Blah, blah.
Fired. Home for a little while. Blah, blah.
I'm just going to start it from the beginning.
Yeah, exactly. And everybody's going to be like, it's not really a podcast, is it?
No, it's Mimi and Greg.
It's more like they get together for coffee every so often.
It's Mimi and Greg. They know. Those tuning in to Mimi and Greg are very much expecting this. It was like when we were at Rose City and they were like anxiously await. People were there early and I was like, oh, okay. And then they just kind of laughed.
Because you never know when they start. Yeah. Yeah. We never know when exactly they've started. They've just started.
Yeah. It's a thing.
Yeah. I mean, there are 4 Hollywood projects, none of which are in a state that I can speak about.
Right.
All of them. Yeah, I think it's 4.
Wow.
And of those 4, one of them's been cooking for 7 years. One of them sort of came about as a moonshot, just like a 1 in 1 million thing.
Yeah, and we talked about that in January. And so that's still
and it is looks pretty
moving
good
along.
I mean, it's gone from 1 in 1 million to 1 in 10,000 to 1 in 50.
Yes.
To 1 in 3.
Ooh.
And I think we may now be at they're either going to do it or they aren't. But it's probably at least a week before we hear. So
So then
That's
off air, you can tell me. I'm just kidding, listeners.
so that if that happens, it will be announced.
Okay.
If that happens, it will be the sort of thing that is I expect that if it happens and is announced within 30 seconds of that announcement, the Discord will note it.
Oh, I'm so tempted. We're gonna record like a 30-second thing at the end of this, so I can like hold it, just like we did with Cheshire and Cheetah and
No,
Cheshire.
this one
I'm
I
just
won't
kidding.
talk
I know
about.
you sign. I know you sign
It
things
it
with
no,
her
I
and all
didn't
that.
sign anything on this one.
Oh,
That's the
okay.
thing. It's just I don't want to risk jinxing it.
Right. Oh,
And it
okay.
and it is the kind of
I
thing
like that.
that I genuinely don't want to talk about
Until it's a sure thing.
until it's a thing. And then there's something else that came up probably in the last 9 months that again was like, oh, well, okay, maybe. And then all of a sudden that seems to be, but none of these, see, the problem, like comics, and I say this still as very much a neophyte in the Hollywood of it all, but like comics, people think they know how they're made and people think they understand the timelines and they just don't. I mean, it just isn't what you think it is. So, like I say, one of these things I've been working with these producers on, this will be, it is over 7 years now. And
Wow.
had a fantastic call earlier this week with a director for that project.
Okay.
He was amazing. It was a great conversation. It's like, well,
Mm,
holy hell, this finally might be moving because if this
yeah.
guy comes aboard, right? But in other cases, it's literally like I get a call being like, "Oh, have you thought about would you want to adapt this thing?" And I say, "No, I can't adapt that thing. I am ill suited for that adaptation. But you know who would be good?" And then you get into these series of conversations, and they're like, "Yes, but we really want you. So what about you and this person?" And we have a director, so you talk to the director, and then you're like, "Okay," and that's great, but it's still all vaporware like on the four things that are in the no it's yeah, of the four things only two of them have paper,
Okay.
right? Only two of them are contracted, only two of them are things that I have received any money for. The
Mm-hmm.
other two, including the 7 year one, not a dime. It's just
Yeah.
all on my own. It's working on spec and the potential sweat equity investment of maybe one day this will happen. And I'm happy to do it because I really like the project. But
Right. Right.
it's one of those things where it's like, mm. So you get like, you know, and this happened with the last issue of Cheetah and Cheshire because I saw some people, some very uninformed people who in the main should be able to recognize me as an ally take featherweight as a response to the whole Gretchen Felker Martin thing. And I had a lot of people for a given value of lot on social media. So it might have been the same three people, with their pitchforks, but coming at me and being like, well, no, you should give all your money to Gretchen and you're a hack and so on. Because their read was this character is trans in response to what happened with Felker Martin and Red Hood, right? They don't know shit about how a comic is made. Featherweight was trans 6 months before any of that happened. Featherweight had been trans from the moment that character was introduced and in the design phase with Nicola. You were in Australia with us when she was working on that book and those
Yes, I
designs,
was.
right?
Yes, I
But
was.
but the response was, oh, this is reactionary. It's like, no, these things happen very separately. You have no idea how fucking publishing works. And you'll have to put spoiler tags on it. But I'm still pissed about this,
Yeah.
right? Because I do not like being accused. It's and never mind the fact that it's like, look, I get where the anger is coming from. I understand it. I really do understand it. If I look, I mean, I'm Jewish. We've talked about that. We are 30 seconds from open season on Jews. Like, quite literally, the only thing the right and the left can agree upon right now is that it's the Jews' fault, right? Like that, we are back to blood libel. We are literally back to blood libel. So if I were a member of the trans community right now, I would be shields up all the time, right? But the problem with having to live under hypervigilance, and we are having to live under hypervigilance, is you mistake allies for enemies sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So, I can't be angry at individuals for responding to what they think is going on, but it is one of those things where it's like, okay, but that isn't what is going on in this case. I cannot speak to the DC comics of it all. That is a separate thing. And there's actually no way to engage in that doesn't look like punching down, right? DC, were they to say anything at all, they're going to look like they were punching down. And that's not to absolve them, right? That is absolutely not to say they did not make mistakes here, that it is not a bad luck. But it is to say people think, and this is a whole other thing, and I've talked about this in the newsletter, this is a whole other thing where people think they understand how these things work and what's going on behind the scenes. They don't know, right? I don't pretend to know how decisions are made at IBM. All right. I don't know. Okay. And it doesn't matter how many episodes of The Office I've watched. It doesn't matter how much I love The Pit. I am not going to mistake The Pit for reality. It is a fiction, right?
Yes.
Okay. It may be reflective of a reality in the best ways, but I am not going to watch The Pit and then decide I know how to deal with an open femur fracture and how to.
You know how to run an ER.
Exactly. Right. Oh, I can do what Noah Wiley's doing.
Yeah, obviously.
Right? But we have this whole insider culture. Oh, I read it. I read this column. I read Bleeding Cool. Rich Johnston says that you don't know what's going on. You have no idea how these things happen, what the decisions are made. You don't know how X artist ends up partnered with Y writer most of the time. I'm working on something for DC that hasn't been announced right now. And the artist search on this has been going on for over 4 months, right? Because we're trying to find the right artist for this project. And it's not because there aren't lots of good artists, right? But it's because we need to find the right one for this. So one of the benefits of age, of which I now, he says, stroking his white beard, feel I can speak to, is that I am very aware of the things I do not know. And as we've talked about before, I also fall for ignorance. I can be baited with the best of them. There's an argument that says that those of us who are aware of being manipulated and propaganda and so on are actually more subject to it. That our self-awareness actually puts us in a place where we're like, well, therefore I'm all the more certain that I've done my due diligence, right? And I have snap responded to things that I never should have, just, because guess what? Dopamine receptor got hit, rage trigger got hit. And it's like, oh, okay, I'll be angry about it. So,
well, it's hard because we're getting hit from every angle and there's a lot of feelings.
Yes.
Which, your feelings are valid, but your reactions to them aren't always, right? Our reactions to things aren't always. So we have to kind of take a moment sometimes too.
Yes, but I would put a step between our feelings and our reactions.
Yes.
These are all logical things, right? I feel a thing, I react to it. Acting on that reaction.
Right, acting on your reaction, yes.
Like we all, and I say, I am as guilty as any and probably guiltier than most. My father, may he rest in peace, used to say, engage brain before opening mouth.
Simply and perfectly put.
But it is, yeah, Engage brain before reposting, responding, sending that email. It is.
Yeah, I was not aware of any of the any of that.
I mean, I genuinely don't know how large it is, right? Because this is the other
Yeah.
problem with social media. You're on social media, and then people start coming at you,
Yes.
and it's like, okay, well, is that 4 people who looked me up? What the hell,
Yeah,
right?
and if they even knew an
It doesn't,
inkling of who you are,
but it
like
doesn't matter,
what?
right? Because as I said, I understand where the anger comes from. I
Right.
really do. But it's like, you're misdirecting it.
Exactly.
And I kind of look askance over at Rich Johnson going, and you kind of set fire to this. You knew what was going to happen when you said this
Mm.
because you decided to make a connection between these two things. There was no connection.
Hmm.
You established the connection, and then people said, "Oh, well, there's a connection." And that's a little like saying, every time I see contrails, I get a migraine. Right. Okay. Well, maybe don't stare into the sun, dumbass. It's not necessarily the government poisoning you.
Right.
So I correlation is not causation.
Hmm. Hmm.
It did bug me, and it is part of the reason why I've been like, yeah, then you know what? I don't need blue sky. I don't need it.
Mm.
I am just again, we're back to the social
Social
media.
media.
We're back to the social media serves very little good
Yes.
and does incredible ill, you
Yes,
know.
I know it's so hard. I still have the same struggles. I mean, we've been talking about this for like 6 years now. Maybe, yeah, you and I for 6 years now, and it's this crazy like I've gotten to the point where I think Oscar and I on our last podcast that just released this week as we record this was very much like, the trolls like to come out and they just want to make comments, and we're at the point now we just like delete, 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 delete.
Yeah,
We're
don't
not even
even
going to let it
bother.
be on the page. We're not going to let people engage with it and have conversation if it's just inciting, you know, hate and it's not necessary. That's not what this is about. And so
No.
yeah, we just kind of have learned that we're just going to have to disengage in that regard, but it's super difficult, especially like you said, when they're really coming at you.
Yeah.
Like it's not even this kind of
It
generalization. It's very personal
yeah,
and
and
people want
it's
to
a
have
direct
an
attack.
enemy. Yeah, it's a direct attack, and
Yeah.
you're right. It's misdirected, and that's very frustrating.
But like I said, I understand where it comes from. I just opened YouTube because I'm trying to find a
Don't do
video.
it.
No, no, no. I'm
No, I'm
trying to
just
find a
kidding.
video that I watched. I can't find it. It's interesting going to the social media of it all, right? I've been working analog. We've talked about this. I've been working analog a lot more
Hmm.
lately. I've been I have been working in notebooks. I have a traveler's company passport
Yes, yes,
that now goes with me everywhere, and all of that sort of goes to this thing. And this was the video I was looking for. It was a lovely video, and I can't find it, where this guy was talking about needing to change his relationship with his phone, right? And made this really beautiful short film where he was talking about like these are the sort of things he did. But one of the things, and Jen and I were talking about, we saw it together, and we were talking about the intentionality of picking up your phone as opposed to the sort of absent habit of going to the phone. Like, I am not doing a thing, so I'm going to check my phone, as opposed to, no, I'm sitting down, I am going to do, I'm not going to look at that, I'm going to think. And I'm thinking about it. I bring it up because social media is hand in hand with it, right? We have this engagement machine, and more and more, I just myself, I'm trying to disengage. I'm trying to figure out how to change my relationships to these devices. Like January, my only New Year's resolution was to get rid of my Apple Watch.
hmm. Oh, because it's like with you,
It
ding,
was
ding.
it,
Yeah,
and was a
yeah,
constant source of low grade anxiety.
right.
It was constantly like, did I get my workout in? Did I get enough steps? Did I burn the
Yes,
calories?
yes.
And it's like, you know what? I don't actually need that.
Hmm.
Oz Donald gave me as a present a couple years ago now, a Garmin watch for tracking runs and things like that. So that's what I use it for. When I go on a run, I put on that watch. That is part of my running gear. But otherwise, I am wearing a watch that this is one of my dad's
like
watch.
hands.
Yeah, it's got hands and everything on. I am actively trying to, and that included deleting Blue Sky from the phone. Like I can get the Blue Sky on my laptop.
Yes, yes.
But it's still somewhat early days, right? We're talking early April.
Mm-hmm.
But genuinely, the separation from the watch has been so good. It's like,
of course it is. I mean, there's
stress.
The science is there.
Yeah,
the science is there. It's like your addiction has now been like you've done the time, where you've moved away.
I found it. So the video is called "My Phone is Ruining My Life." Period. So I made this, and it's by a guy named Aldi, Aldi, John, Jon, 2 words.
Okay.
And it's a 7-minute little short film he made.
Nice.
Jen, and we finished watching it, and then Jen was like, "You know what I really like about this?" I said, "What?" He says, "He didn't ask you to like or subscribe." Mm-hmm. Like, I think this is legit. And I was like, you know what? This is a good point. I didn't notice that. You're right.
Yeah.
So but yeah, I think there's something to it. I certainly, and I can only speak for myself. I'm enjoying working longhand more. I'm enjoying all of that, and I'm enjoying the quiet. And it is quiet. It is a different sense. Like, I'm happy to have my phone nearby and use it as a music player.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
right.
Of course.
I'll listen to a podcast by somebody. I'm happy to do that.
Right.
But
it's that feeling of like, I need to check XYZ.
Yes,
I need to see what's happening. I need to, let me. Yeah.
FOMO. It's your little FOMO device.
I found myself too, like if I'm I don't even go to restaurants much, but if I'm somewhere with Oscar and then he's like, "Oh, I'm going to go to the bathroom." I'm like, "Do not pick up your phone.
Yeah.
Just sit and enjoy wherever you're at, or just breathe. Just people. We don't people watch anymore. We just like people watch.
No, we don't. I was like, and when we do people watch, we notice they're all looking at their phones.
Right, that's what I notice, and it makes me put it away more. So it's like when I do have a purse or a backpack, I'm like, it has to be out of my physical. I don't have the discipline. I have to like physically out of sight, out of mind. Like I'm like, okay, but I make the conscious decision usually, and I'm like, I want a gold star, Oscar. I didn't pick up my phone while you were gone for 3 minutes.
Yeah, but well, and then you talk going back to the hypervigilance of it all, like this state that so many of us are living in.
Yes.
Looking at your phone is not good for your situational awareness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, how many times have you been walking and had somebody nearly slam into you or whatnot because they were doing this,
or driving?
Yeah. Oh, let's not even with that.
Like,
yeah.
No, it's hard for me. Like, especially if Oscar's driving and I'm in the car, that's my 10-minute window of using the phone. And so when I'm home, I definitely try to have it, like you said, audio, podcasts, books, but I just really like, okay, I'm not going to try not to, but then it's like you do your grocery shopping on your phone. You do your, like for me, I'm like, God, I feel
but you don't need to. Right? Like you don't need to. You can I had to run out to do some shopping yesterday because yesterday was for Seder. It was the start of Passover, right?
Oh, yes.
And Jen was like, and it was raining. So Jen was like, I'm not going to get to the store. And I said, I'll go. She gave me a piece of paper with the list on it. I was like, great, in my pocket. I've got this, right?
Yeah, I'm not there.
Real easy. Get yourself one of these.
Yeah, Oscar's got his in his little pouch. He has his little notebook all the time, and he's really good about that.
Yeah, no, it's
but he's already deleted social forever. He's not on it at all.
But that's because Oscar mastered mindfulness a long time ago.
Yes,
a long time ago. I think we both know this about Oscar. Oscar was like, Oscar was very good at identifying. Nope. Keep doing that. It's bad for me. Not doing it. Willing to do this, not willing to do that.
Oscar, like, I don't need
this. Oscar has a wonderful sense of boundaries. I admire
he's
that.
going to love this podcast.
Look, I
He's gonna keep rewinding and be like, see what Greg Rucka said about me. I love this.
and he means it. So yeah,
He
that's
does.
Greg not blowing smoke up his skirt. That's real.
Yes.
So
Well, you're pretty much a keep it real kind of guy, though. You're as you've said, as you've aged with all the wisdom. You're like, you're pretty straightforward. Now, I was like, if you lived like less than a 2-hour flight away, I was gonna show up in your signing line and just to be like, "Hey, could you sign my Batwoman?" and surprise you.
I'll be in some sort of reasonable
I was
range
so
at some
to
point.
see you with all these signings in person. I was like,
It was exciting. It was nice
I
to have a new number
know.
one.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
yeah, and number two, I think, is actually an even stronger issue. People seem to have responded well to number one.
Okay.
Batwoman number two is really Danny and Hollingsworth and Haas all sort of showing off. And me being like, I'll just be over here.
You love that. Yeah.
I do. I mean, every now and then I get a little like, and it's just vanity, and I admit it's pure vanity. Like I'll see something or I'll read something, I'll be like, oh my God, this is amazing. The art of it. It's like, somebody wrote it. Somebody put those ideas. I'm just saying, but that's my vanity.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty good about telling my vanity to shut up and sit down and get back to work because a large part of my job, I think, is to be able to give Danny and Matt and Haas scripts where I'm kind of invisible in it. And I'm not sure how good I am at that, but I was really pleased to see the response to one. And I genuinely think people are going to read two and be like, what the hell is going on here? And then, things at DC are great. I got another page from Michael today. He's working on issue 10. He's almost done with issue 10.
Oh my gosh.
And we're gonna hold solicitation, I think, until he is done or all but done with 11. Yeah, and then we'll solicit for the next arc because he's doing okay.
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
But he's tired. He gets tired.
He shouldn't push.
Yeah, well, tell Michael that.
I know. I'll try. It's hard to get that guy on the
yeah,
email or the phone. He's not.
He and his wife came out from the UK. They were in New York for the Daredevil season 2 premiere. They went to it. Oh, okay. And I think he had thought that it was going to be, it'll be fun. And we were talking when he was over here because they had actually planned on like a lunch date with my youngest who's living in Manhattan.
Oh, okay.
And Dash had to cancel, so like I had reached out and I was saying, I hope, and literally I got back. It's like it's probably just as well. I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
It's like we went to this thing and then I've just been in the room, like in the hotel room, and get real tired. And it's like, yeah, buddy, you do. You had a stroke, and we have such a broken sense of expectations of recovery, and I think we have our own impatiences as well.
Yeah.
But I have a friend who suffered a chronic, not chronic, but he had he got effectively an infection, and it took close to 18 months before it was healed and resolved. That's a year and a half, right? And that was a year and a half of significant pain and discomfort and an inability to do many of the things that brought him joy in his life. But it wasn't like the year and a half of that recovery wasn't abnormal for the condition, right? That was medically what they said. It's going to take this long, right? And in the same way that societally we're sort of expected to be like, oh, you were grieving, now you're done. It's like, then you don't have any idea how grief works.
Right. Yes.
I saw an old friend, a friend I hadn't seen in really 3 decades, almost. Not that long, but it had been a while. And she's a mother, and she had lost her son. And she's doing the best she can, and she's living. But we were talking about the fact that it's just like, oh no, she described it as I swim in an ocean of grief.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, and it is one of those. It's one of those things that, again, there's the societal expectation. Okay, now you're done grieving. It's like, no, you never stop grieving.
Yeah.
You just are grieving. It's quieter or it's louder. It has its own gravity. And sometimes you're closer to the center of it, and sometimes you're at the edge of the orbit, but it's always there.
Yeah.
It's always there.
Yeah, there's been a lot of, I mean, expected and unexpected loss this year already. And I always make it a point, and because I have to be so methodical, I like put on my calendar 1, 3, 6, 8, 12-month check-ins, because I'm like, grief hits us at such different times and
Yeah.
in such different ways. Like, even if it's just like a little bit of a, hey, just say, kind of thing, because it doesn't just go away. And even then, it's like years from now, you'll hear a song, or you'll hear, or something will happen. And it sometimes I wouldn't say it's positive, but sometimes it could be a
Oh no,
nice feeling
sometimes,
in memory, and like you
yeah.
have like kind of a good response, but it's still with you, like you said.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, that's Marlo, knock it off.
Hi, Marlo. I was just gonna say Marlo shouting out as usual.
Yeah.
That's because she knows this is her
Marlo
podcast.
Marlo's up at the top of the stairs, angry that Jen has come down into the basement to do something. That's basically what it was like. No, no, you need to pay attention to me, Bark.
Oh, I thought
Um,
Marlo knew I was online, you know?
no, her hearing's good. It ain't
Oh,
that
not
good.
that good. Yeah, well, you have
Um,
headphones on,
but I
so.
was I was gonna say, actually, I think that's really good. I mean, it says something very wonderful about you as a person, that you like make a point of putting that on your calendar. And so, no, because that there's an intentionality and a deliberateness to it that I think is actually, there's a piece of me that's like, yeah, I need to do that.
Oh,
I
yeah.
need to do that. I need to set reminders and say, check in with this person, because
Yeah.
it's really easy to not.
It is. I mean, we all get so busy, and that's the
We
thing.
get
I have to
busy,
do it
yeah.
that way, or I won't remember. But I
But
also have grieved for things and know what it's like on the reverse side when people have checked in unexpectedly, and it's usually very pleasant. So,
yeah, and
yeah,
it means a lot. And
yeah.
also, yeah, I'm not sure grief is not definitionally always negative. I know that I had a dream my late father was in it. And that's the only time I get to see him now. So, you know what I mean? That's, I mourn him, but hey, I got to spend a little time with him while I was asleep. He showed up. I don't really, I suspect it was not a particularly meaningful thing. And some Freudian psychoanalyst would say, well, actually, Greg, what happened in that but, I'll take it.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
definitely. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it is one of those things too that if you do not grieve, it can be super alarming and toxic for you as a person.
Well, now we're hi. Now we're onto a whole.
Yeah.
Do you want to turn down the cul-de-sac of toxic masculinity and men being unable to talk about their feelings
Yeah.
or even admit to having them, and how that has turned into a festering weaponized resentment, and so I
Mm,
mean, like,
yes, I know. But I
look,
guess
the
that's the
whole
teacher in me
the
because I have a lot of teenage boys in my
yeah.
life. And so I'm always trying to remind them like feelings, vulnerability, all these are strengths, like yeah, it's like always top of mind. So that's
Yeah.
probably why. But yes,
Yeah,
I hear you.
this whole conceit of, like, I had really thought we were past that whole bit about, like, not having feelings means you're strong, you know, or showing them means you're strong. And it's like, the only reason to be alive is feelings. right? Like literally what we live for, the things that give us joy and pleasure and so on. Be that I take pleasure in my intellectual life and being able to sit and read, or socializing with my friends, or laughing so hard my jaw hurts. I mean, yeah, we are living in such, an isolating time. And the product of that isolation is now this desperation to find places that are community and places we belong. And then many of those communities are operating on precisely that premise and going, oh, you are sad and resentful and lonely. Well, come here. I can offer you a place where you can hate these people along with us. Right? You can join this. And here's your community now. You're all bound together by the fact that you're supporting pedophiles. Congratulations. It is, I suppose, in its own way, it is its own toxic fandom.
Yeah.
We should have done a better job of nipping that in the bud in our yards when it started to really become prevalent. We mistook freedom of speech for permissiveness, and some things shouldn't be permitted. Not everything is allowed. You know what I mean? Not if you're going to be a member of a society. There's some shit that just don't fly.
Yeah. But it is. But yet it's out there. And yet.
Yeah.
Yes. It was funny because I was like, yesterday, I said, Oscar, talking to Greg tomorrow. He's like, oh my, what are you guys going to talk about? I'm like, well,
no idea. It'll just be, we'll pull the pin and watch.
It'll happen.
It does. It's organic. It's organic.
It's very organic at this point. Well, this is episode 66.
Ooh, okay. We got to catch up. We've been really inconsistent. I've been bouncing around.
But yeah, you're in different places, and I know how that goes because you were in that writer's room forever. So you were literally that was
down in LA, and also when that's going on, the only time I'm free is your night.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So I may be going back down.
But even that would be fine. But really, you need to sleep.
Right. But
you had other work after work.
If we shot for something around 6, 8 or 9. Well, no, you're 3 hours. So 9 o'clock. If you could do 9 o'clock at night, your time, 9 to 10.
Oh, I can, because I could do that.
We'll make it happen.
For you, I could do it. For sure. Of course. I at this point in our 6-year run, it feels weird if I haven't talked to you in a few months. I'm like, what's happening? I haven't talked to Greg,
Yeah.
So that's why I said it. I saw your things in March. I mean, I don't know that I could have made, but it would have been so awesome to just be in line waiting to see you.
I mean, in success, maybe I end up doing a signing somewhere closer to where you are. So
yeah, that would be good. I mean, to be fair, it was pretty awesome that we were in Australia, and then a year later, here we are.
We did
Cheetah versus Cheshire.
We did kind of burn up a lot of our good fortune on
that was amazing
scheduling with that one.
Well, I told Oscar I want to talk, about Cheetah versus Cheshire. So much fun. It was just freaking delightful and what I needed. I got to finally read it all in one when I was on my last trip, and then I handed it to him and he read it, and it was oh, beautiful. We were able to, it was so cool because, and I'm like, it'd be cool to talk to Nicola and Greg at the same time again. I'm like, okay, that's never going to happen. It's hard enough for you and I to get on schedule.
Mean, yeah, the time zones become an issue there.
It's really, really hard because now we're talking 3. So the 3 of us in one place, it was
that was 4. You can't ignore Oscar.
Right. Well, but I meant the podcast to actually have it. Wow, that was crazy. Yes.
We'll make it happen again.
Phenomenal. It could. It definitely could.
I'm going to be back in Australia at some point, and
I think I'm going to have to wait for Nick to come somewhere Europe or something we can
Yeah,
meet.
it'll be Europe.
Yeah.
She's not coming back here.
Oh no, I get that. No, that's
Yeah.
why I said maybe like another
Yeah.
country. Yeah, for sure.
We'll all meet at a show in Norway or something.
Yes,
And
yes. I was actually invited to one. Where was it? It was like and Jean Ha was so sweet was like,
uh-huh.
"Hey, my person it wasn't Amsterdam. Maybe it was near Amsterdam. Maybe it was
Yeah.
Netherlands, but he was like, "Yeah, they'd really like to have you." And
Was that the
it's
Utrecht one?
it was last year though. So, but it was like and they
Because
were
I was there.
so
I was in Utrecht
yeah,
last
so like
November.
maybe like one of those
Yeah.
because like there was a little bit of love there
No,
and I was like,
David,
"Well,
there's a guy in Barcelona, David Macho, who I've known
mm,
for years, who sort of represents a lot of the Spanish talent.
yes.
He represents Santi, who does the
Mm-hmm.
coloring on
Mm-hmm.
Lazarus, and
Lazarus. Yeah.
I've known him for years and years.
Yeah.
And he's been doing a lot of organizing a lot of these shows in sort of Western Europe and so
Yes.
on, and had been like, so that's why I went out to Utrecht, and I think he
Mm-hmm.
does one in Helsinki and so on. So, and Danny, lives in Greece. She lives in
Mm-hmm.
Athens. So I am somewhat hopeful that
Mm-hmm.
there will be a show somewhere in Europe that will allow for me and Danny at least to be in the simple, and then it's real, it ain't far. I
No,
mean,
yeah,
all we need is you and Oscar. So,
yeah, yeah. Well, we're
and
down.
then you get Nick. Yeah. So I know how much you hate to travel. So yeah.
Honestly, though, I'm kind of like I'm not having the same feelings as I did before with travel. Like making me a little more anxious, but
Oh yeah.
also I'm
It's
tired
anxiety inducing.
and I'm really tired. Like to be
Yeah.
fair, it's a total first world problem, total like privilege problem, but like oh, those long flights and just the whole like packing in the whole thing is getting a little bit harder for me. So,
It's
yeah.
okay to take a little time,
Yeah, so I'm like, I still have trips that have already been pre-planned and whatever, but it also depends on why. Because remember, I think I told you in Australia, like it's so much less about Australia and New Zealand. Our one of our like favorite meals, and I love restaurants,
Uh-huh.
was having brunch at Nicola's with you, and like that was like one of our favorite things that we did that entire trip,
Yeah.
and it was because of who we were with. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's really more what it is for us now. So, I mean,
Yeah.
we're very fortunate. We've
Uh,
seen the
I have
world.
a friend who's about to leave on a long vacation. He and his wife are going for like a 7 week, first time in 7 years. And he's all about, we're going to go to the museums and we're going to architecture and so on. It's like, I get it and enjoy it and love it. And that is not how I vacate. That is not, I'm happy to see things and experience things, but I would be very happy sitting in a cafe talking to people. But jumping back, I'm really glad you liked the miniseries. I'm very proud of it.
Loved it. Yes, you should be. Oh my gosh. It's just
Trade,
like a breath of fresh air, to
well,
have something that's just,
it was a little different. It was a lot of, it's just
yeah,
fun.
so
In the
much fun.
main, it's just fun.
Yeah, I
Um,
literally have because I didn't relate too many show notes here, but it was just Cheetah versus Cheshire. So much fun! An exclamation bold. That's what I have on my paper.
we wanted to do an
So much
Oceans
fun.
movie in the DCU,
Yes.
and we did.
Yes.
And I
Yeah.
think it's some of Nick's best work ever.
Oh, it's beautiful. I mean, and
And
I was so excited I got to see it in person.
yeah,
Like I was like, oh my gosh, that was basically issue one. And when I got issue one, I was like, oh, I basically already read issue one
yeah.
in
Oh, hey,
Australia.
I saw this.
I was
Yeah.
like, oh, okay. It
Oh,
was like
now it has
literally the whole
dialogue.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like the whole thing. Awesome. Yeah, it's so perfect. And I think everybody should definitely read it. It's so much fun. So fast, such an
Well,
easy read, like I said.
trade
Oh,
comes out in May.
okay, cool.
They've retitled it, but it'll come out in May as Cheetah and Cheshire rob the Watchtower, as opposed
Ah,
to rob the Justice League.
oh,
For I am told metadata reasons on BookScan and so on. That's why they changed the title. Okay.
okay.
People will find it because they go, because the part they're going to remember is the Cheetah and
Cheetah and
Cheshire.
Cheshire. Oh,
They're not going to
definitely.
remember. They robbed something. It really doesn't
Yes.
matter what.
Yes, yes.
And then I want people to buy, like, I want it to sell out immediately and go into a second printing in the trade.
Okay.
Because if it does that, then I can go to DC and say, I would like to now have Cheetah and Cheshire rob the Fortress of Solitude, please. Or
Oh,
something. I like you
yeah.
literally, there's a whole bunch of stuff they could rob. Let's be honest.
Okay. Well, let's make
There's
that
no
happen,
shortage of
everybody. So
things.
is
Yeah.
that's the pre-order thing, right? And
Yes,
that's
yes.
the
Get in
okay.
there and
Everybody
pre-order.
pre-order from your local comic book store. That's our little
Yeah.
plug.
But
I that's what I usually do. So
I
yes.
I'm really, really delighted you enjoyed it. That
Oh,
makes me happy.
oh my gosh. Well, and I don't and it's fun too because I don't even know half those characters because I'm not very versed in the DC
Most people
versus
didn't.
most people didn't anyway, was what I had, when we had that convo. But like it didn't matter, right? It didn't matter that I didn't have like all
Yeah.
the canon and backstory on every single whatever. And it was just fun and so much, yeah, it
Yeah.
was
I mean
really enjoyable.
the number
And it
of
had like
people who
cameos, right? Because you feel like, oh, well, of course you know Wonder Woman. You, of course you know Superman.
yeah,
So
but the
there's that.
list of I mean the list of people who rank Hazard as one of their favorite villains pretty short. It's a pretty short list, you know.
Oh my God. Super
So
delightful. Yeah, no, everybody's got to go get that one because it is a fast read and we'll put all those links and make sure we keep populating so people can pre-order and you can have your wish of
yes,
more
yes, we
of having
I
more.
can look up the lunar pre-order code on
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
yeah.
It'll
We'll
be
have that
it'll
all
be
on there.
available. The one thing I can say is it should be available in just about any comic book shop that orders trades. They'll have a couple of these when it comes out.
Yeah.
One hopes. So
Yes. Yes. No, so much fun. I mean, and it's so cool because it's like you and I talked about this last time too, where it's like 1 minute there's like, I have nothing to announce. Why would I go to a signing? Why would I go to a thing? And then it's like you have 50 things to announce. It's just like all at once. It's like
yeah,
all or nothing because then
it
everything comes to fruition at the same
it
time.
it's very much living in boom and bust cycles,
Yeah.
and we seem to be coming into a boom. So
Hmm.
we'll see.
And I mean, and I just saw this on the Image, I guess, website. Like Lazarus is, was like number 3 on like that whole cycle.
Oh,
Was it volume? I gotta look it up,
yeah,
whatever it was. Like in
the
December, like in January, it
yeah,
was
the
like,
new
hey,
trade.
this was our thing. And
That's
yeah, I
cool.
mean, it was like in the
Well,
top
and
10. It was like number,
Forged
yeah.
is coming back.
Yes. I'm
Forged will
so
be
behind on
returning.
that, but I was the one I was like, okay,
I
my
mean,
next trip all at once.
the Forged is just naughty fun.
Yes.
It's just literally going, oh my god.
It's very provocative.
I mean, it really isn't. It is so tame
But
compared to
in a
so
fun
much,
way, like a
but
little
it
bit of
should
a,
feel, yeah, it
yeah,
should just feel a
edgy.
little bit like that's a little naughty. You know,
It is fun.
In Europe, people would be like, uh-huh,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. So yes, I've seen breasts before.
Right.
In the U.S., it's like,
I know. I had this conversation with someone the other day. It was actually a doctor who told me, and they're like, they do a lot of body work and stuff. And they were like, a patient wouldn't take off their pants. And I'm like,
yeah,
but you were looking at their leg. They're like, yeah, no, they wouldn't. They were uncomfortable because he's actually from Europe originally. And he's
uh,
like, in America, it's just, which is
yeah,
so
no.
weird, but like nudity and like, I'm like, but also
I
you're a
mean,
doctor. Like,
it
I would
it
want you to check my leg if I need my
yeah,
leg checked.
it is weird. It's also, again, one of those ones where it doesn't take an advanced degree to figure out how people got
Yes.
there.
Yeah, very waspy over here. So,
Well, and prudish
hmm
because of a misinterpretation of religion,
hmm hmm
that goes to sex bad, therefore bodies
hmm
bad,
Yeah.
therefore, I mean, yeah.
That's another
We were
rabbit
doing well.
hole, but we were doing well. Let's
Let's
not
not
go
get
there.
sad.
So I
Yeah.
did have a question before we log off because I know you probably have a million things.
I do
So
have a
I,
million
I
things. What a
got
shock.
into a little bit of an argument with someone on the Superman film,
Yeah.
and I enjoyed the Superman film,
Yeah.
and I thought it was like hopeful and just showed like that struggle for the human side, and it obviously the character in this one was like very much from a lot of the different comics and
Yeah.
all this stuff. Anyways, and so we were talking to our cousin, our Oscar's cousins who don't read comics at
Uh-huh.
all, and was like, we're looking for the godlike, angry Superman. And I'm like, wait, what? And so like I was like, I happen to know people who have written Superman, and I happen to know that he is about hope. He is about empathy, and like always having that struggle of hearing everybody, and also like
Uh-huh.
human, not human.
They're mistaking they're mistaking Superman for another
That's what
character.
I said. It's or what is it in
Um
the oh, what is that comic? Now it's escaping my brain, but the mean one that's not Superman,
yeah, it's
but like
yeah. What they want is the boys.
you're right, the boys,
Yeah,
right, the boys,
go watch the
but I
boys.
mean, I think they said that there was like this. There should have been a moment where okay, he's downtrodden, and then he like comes and just like you know
No,
destroy. I said no. I was so
there
tired
shouldn't
of the
have been.
destruction porn Superman. Like that
Yeah,
is so
yeah, no.
frustrating to me, and I was like,
They're more than welcome to like what they like, but
right.
yeah, then if that's what lost you, then you weren't going to enjoy it to begin with, because that's not who he's supposed to be.
Right. And that's why I was like, I know you've always said he's almost harder to write than like
He
a
is.
villain
He
because
he is
yeah.
he is he is the hardest of them to write. I would argue, for me.
Hmm.
I'm not sure he's harder to write well than Diana is. I know that for me, it is easier to write Diana than it is to
Hmm.
write Superman, that
Hmm.
it is to write Clark. Clark is harder to write. And it's not simply an issue of power level, it is entirely related to the kinds of stories you can tell, because you can tell any story you want. What are the stories that show him off to best effect, that explain to the world what makes him so special? And those kind of stories are stories that in many ways are somewhat antithetical to superhero comics, because his ability to punch the thing, lift the thing, throw the thing is great spectacle, but the drama in those moments is almost universally false, unless you're going, oh, there's kryptonite everywhere or whatnot.
Hmm.
Because a good Superman story is about how he acts morally and ethically, right? The second lowest scene, when the hot cocoa scene,
Ah, yes.
when he's like, I'm turning myself in, and Lois is like, you're doing what?
Hmm.
But that's so it's one of my favorite scenes in the movie. The two Lois Clark scenes in the movie
Oh.
are just, I think, spectacularly done, and
Hmm.
and
And having written so
demonstrate
much about Lois, you as
well,
well.
and demonstrate the characters so
Yeah.
beautifully, right? Like,
Yeah.
this is it's who they are, and you can see why they love each other. Yeah, and especially, and this is the thing I think I find a little disturbing about what you just said regarding, Oscar's cousins, is like, right now we don't need that. Right
Hmm.
now we don't need somebody who's like, and then I'm gonna punch them and break shit.
Yes.
Actually, that's not what's gonna get us through.
Hmm.
Like, there will be punching and some breaking shit that is going to absolutely be required,
Hmm. Hmm.
but the punching and breaking things on the bad guy side, we need, and this is probably a good way to land it. Going back to the social media thing, I talk about a lot about all the negatives of it. The one really good thing about social media is it makes mutual aid visible, right?
Yeah.
It makes the opportunities to provide for one another and for people we don't know recognizable and arguably more achievable. It's a sad state of affairs that is one of the best vectors for it, but I think right now In particular, we are living in an era where mutual aid is vital. The ability to reach out and help the stranger in need,
Mm-hmm.
to be able to toss a couple dollars to various fundraisers in Minnesota, pretty important right now, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, here's the long list of all the evils that you can get out of social media. At least here's a good thing.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. Greg ending on a positive note.
Yeah. We'll try to pick it up there next time.
Yeah, well, wouldn't be a Rucka rant, a Rucka episode without a Rucka rant.
Okay.
So
I'm not sure there was a
Mimi
rant
Greg.
there.
No,
I'm not
no.
sure I
At the
ranted.
beginning, I think we got a little one in.
A little
we
ranty.
We
It
kind
was
of got
a little
little.
ranty.
Yeah, I mean, it's part of it. I think people are let down if they don't get
If
a
there's
Rucka
no
rant.
rant.
Yeah.
If there's no rant. Okay.
Like even if it's like a 20-second kind of a little wave. One wave. I'll just take one.
I have become self-parody. Okay, great.
No, please. You just have a lot of fans. I don't know what to say.
Again, I'm not sure about that either. But, all righty.
Oh,
It was great talking to you, Mimi.
Love you so much. Say hi to
Love
everybody
you too.
and
I
hugs
will.
to everybody.
And best to everybody. And
Likewise.
hopefully again
Yes.
in the very soon. Okay.
The stars will align.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Greg, Rucka.
Bye, guys.
That's all for today's episode. Thanks for listening to the Sifu Mimi Chan Show. Please subscribe and rate my podcast on your platform of choice and leave a review. You can become a patron of the show at patreon.com/SifuMimiChan to help keep this podcast going. Follow me and interact on social media at Sifu Mimi Chan on Instagram or Facebook.